Peace, everyone. My name is Nicole Brown. I'm the Senior Program Manager at Detroit Future City. And today we are going to take a journey through what it looks like to reimagine a thriving city that is built by and for Detroiters. Heather Lee, whenever you're ready. So, in redesigning, when you're really looking to redesign a city, one of the things you really have to consider is really looking at how do you radically reimagine a city where you are putting people at the center of that city. And so, for us at DFC, it really means that we are looking at how do we put data at the center of that, and how do we center residents' lived experiences in that work. In 2010, the city of Detroit was at a crossroads. Yes, many people understood, knew the story that was in the headlines. We were in bankruptcy. We were in the middle of a foreclosure crisis. Had city systems that no longer served us. However, what people did not know and didn't see were the untold stories of innovation that were taking place in neighborhoods across the city of Detroit, from creatives to residents, neighborhood groups who were doing things from looking to solve food insecurity to creating art as well as innovative housing solutions. So at Detroit Future City, what we believe is that the answer really lies within residents. And so taking that work, we believe that all voices matter in a process, and taking that lens is what we did in developing the 50-year strategic vision for the city of Detroit through the Detroit Strategic Framework, which is now shepherded by DFC, which is a 501c3 who is the stewards of this vision and helping resident organizations and other stakeholders move that work forward. In the words of my dear friend and international placemaker extraordinaire, Lauren Hood, people have a PhD in place. We add to that at DFC is that yes, practitioners have expertise, but when you bring those two together, wonderful things can happen. And utilizing that, we did just that at DFC. We had over a 2-year period, we engaged over 163,000 people in the city of Detroit in creating this vision, a shared vision for the future of our city. This strategic framework tackles 5 different areas that impact a city's functionality for everyone. And at DFC, we implement this work across 3 different departments: community economic development, Center for Equity Engagement, and the department I work in, land use and sustainability. So we've done this work with hand in hand with community members and stakeholders, looking at how do we provide innovative land use tactics, looking at link community planning, and also focusing in and delving much more deeply in data research and development. And a little bit of how that works out for us and how we've been working with communities is through vacant land transformation. So in the city of Detroit, there are 24 miles of vacant land. Some people say that it's blight. We prefer to look at it as opportunities for community to be able to build social, economic, and environmental impacts. And one of the ways we do that is our Working with Lots program, which to date has awarded over 50 grantees over $380,000 to transform land within their own neighborhoods. This work is also coupled with the design of a Working with Lots guide, which provides step-by-step guidance to community organizations to be able to implement over 35 lot designs within their neighborhoods. We also continue focusing our work around land use and sustainability, really looking at how do we engage residents and other stakeholders around this work. Land and Waterworks is a 10-member coalition that DFC serves as the backbone for. And over the last 3 years, we've, through innovative applications, working with residents, working with stakeholders across the city, we've been able to gauge over 41,000 residents in this work. Also, DFC, one of the things that we really center our work on is looking at how do we take data, how do we take lived experiences of residents and develop a series of reports that can be used by stakeholders across the spectrum to be able to create change that impacts our city economically, physically, but also most importantly, investing in our most important asset, our people. Our research reports are always developed through the lens of equity. And so with this work, through this coupling of data and lived experiences, these reports have been able to help influence policy, community planning changes, and more. An example of some of these reports and how they've impacted our community is our 139 report, heralded for its very simple, clean, and clear access to the most comprehensive data in the city of Detroit, This report was used by organizations across the city of Detroit for making policy decisions to neighborhood organizations applying for grants for their programs. We also recently released our African American middle class report, which really looked to strive to answer the question, how do we move those near middle class African American populations up to middle class and expanding economic opportunities for all? We also worked most recently on our DePave Project report, which is a pilot program that we did with the church in Detroit, helping them to look at how they can save money on their drainage charge by doing a simple depaving project that saved them over $1,500 for the year. We at DFC, as we get ready to mark 10 years since the release of our strategic framework, know that our greatest years in Detroit are ahead of us, not behind us. And we are looking forward to doing this work in partnership with community, keeping data and lived experiences at the center. So the question and thoughts I leave with you all to challenge you is we look forward to making our city even greater, making sure and asking the questions, how do we make sure that residents are at the center of that work, and how are we doing it through a data-informed lens? Thank you all so much for allowing me to share this time with you today.